Yo! Okay. Yeah, there we go. I got my BGM back. Oh man, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back, and if you couldn't tell, I'm kind of gotten some, my throat's kind of not at the best possible form at the moment. I'm trying to get that fixed though by drinking, and it's kind of helping. Oh yeah, it happens every time I travel somewhere. I end up not I don't want to say not feeling well, but I do feel different in the throat, especially when I travel to somewhere new. Sama-san, hello to you. Hello. Been a while. Yeah. I got a lot of things I want to talk about today. There's a lot. For the trip and me being a VTuber for more than 6 months now, I wanted to I wanted to do something special on the 19th. But unfortunately, the only thing I could have done was maybe a Twitter space, but the problem was, and I'll talk more about it when I go my talking about my trip to Germany. The internet was not gonna hold. It never holds well. Never does. So one thing that I missed when I was in Germany, and that was having good internet. But I will talk. I have my pictures and stuff. I have pictures of everything, and right now I'm just trying to get them on my computer. So that's why I'm like kind of at the moment. I'm gonna put them in a slideshow when I actually get them all transferred over to my computer. Right now I'm just trying to select them all one by one right now. I'm not very good with multitasking, so that's why I kind of sound like a little speechless or hard to speak. Okay, here we go. Not that. We'll do this. And I think that's it. That's a lot of pictures. I didn't realize how many pictures I took. Which is funny because, like, I went to Florida in August, about a month before I debuted. And I barely got any pictures. But I think the difference between these two trips is that my phone at the time that I used for Florida was a very terrible iPhone 6. Now I have an iPhone 13, and now I can actually have some stuff on my phone. I'm just double checking, making sure I got all the pictures that I want. I think I got them all. We'll get that one, I guess. All right, cool. Import. I don't know where all these are importing, so I'm just gonna take a wild guess. And yeah, that's a lot of pictures. Oh yeah, I upgraded my phone between the two trips, which was a good idea by me, and I'm proud that I did that. Because again, when I was in Florida, I didn't really get too many pictures, not because I didn't want to, but because, like, the way that my phone was, I couldn't really take too many pictures without my phone being all like, oh, you need more storage. Okay. I think I'm gonna, like, there's this, hold on. Where is this? I want to make a separate folder for all of these pictures. I gotta find them real quick. They all save. Oh crap, they all decided to import in the wrong place. So there's free cupcakes here? Hey, you came to the right place. We got different kinds of cupcakes. Look, sort by date. Does that help? Oh, it does. Oh, that does. Good. Some of these didn't. You know what? There's 70 pictures. I don't think I need all of them to be imported. Let me import a new. Let me put these in a new folder real quick. Send to. No, let's just no. I'm not good with technology. I just need to put this in a new folder real quick. I'm getting this all set up though. was gonna probably put them in a slideshow, but I think I may do one at a time. And just talk about them. 77, move those over. Okay. Is there anything else? I'm pretty sure I got them all. Oh my god. That disappeared on my screen. That scared me. I think I got that. Okay. Okay. These are really good treats here. Oh, let me tell you. Let me pull up. Okay, hold on. Hold on. I'm gonna talk about this first off, since we're on the topic of treats. Germany, let me tell you, I have never been a breakfast person in my life. Okay? Every time I wake up, it's usually around the time when lunch is around. I don't really eat breakfast all that much. But where's this photo at? Where is it at? Here. Germany, I'm gonna put this picture first. This, well, you can't see it because the photo is absolutely enormous. It's ginormous. Why is it so big? She said. This is what I had the first morning. Was it the first morning? I think it may have been the first or second morning that I was in Germany. I had this. Let me move my... Let me do some moving real quick. That's not it. There we go. I love... Okay, I need to lock all these. There's so many of these I need to lock because I keep clicking the wrong one. I don't have the mic. Okay, there we go. But yeah, this was a... this is what I had, I think, either the first or second morning of my trip. I can't remember exactly what this was called on the top of my head, but it was a pancake, like a stack of pancakes, like a stack of three. Yeah, 3 pancakes covered in chocolate sauce. There's a chocolate sauce in that cup right there. Is chocolate ice cream. There was sprinkled with peanut butter. Listen. There was also I think that had some banana in there as well, because there was some taste of banana in there, even though I didn't. Yeah, but that was what I had the first. I think. Hold on. I know. Let me look at the date. Let me look at the date on this real quick. If I look on the date on this, maybe I'll know. Yep. Well, it wasn't the first morning. I don't think I had anything the first morning for breakfast, but the first breakfast that I had over in Germany was this. And that was really good. Like, okay. German chocolate, or the chocolate from Germany, way different from the chocolate that I'm used to over here in America. And it's super good. It's so good. I don't know what's different about it, like what they did to it, but it's different and I love it. The difference is that between German chocolate and American chocolate, I didn't think existed, but they do. And it's super good. The pancakes, oh my god. It was really good. I absolutely enjoyed it because that wasn't even that expensive too, I don't think. Hold on. I do think I have my Swiss chocolate is also different. I need to go to Switzerland at some point too. That's another place I want to try. I think I still have my history of my deliveries and stuff like that. I think. Do I? I think I'm... Hold on. I do. Okay, let me just say this. Oh my god. I'm going to talk about the stuff that I ate in Germany here in just a second. Let's see. Yes, this one was just... What I had was called it's technically just called the pancake Oreo. So, there you go. This is supposed to be Oreo pancake, which kind of was. All right. So let's start from the beginning, I guess. Let's see. Unfortunately, the problem with this is that these are all over the place when it comes to dates. Actually, I think Okay, so I have a picture of when I was driving. Not driving. I didn't drive. Somebody took me to the airport. But here is a picture of, okay, it's sideways. Cool, thank you. I don't know why you're sideways. How do I rotate this? How do I rotate this? Transform, rotate. There we go. But yeah, that's because I was driving to Chicago, because I was flying out of Chicago. That's the Skyway. I've never been over a bridge, or at least that bridge in my life. But yeah, that was that. And let's see, it's gonna rotate again, so I gotta undo that rotation. So is it be this way? Yes. Okay. Let's look. Okay, so let me tell you, the last meal that I had in America for 2 weeks was some chicken with some wings. And let me tell you, these things slapped. So I was at the airport. Trying to think. My flight left at, was it 9 o'clock? I think. Trying to think of when it left. It's like 8, 9 o'clock at nighttime. I know that. I arrived about a few hours earlier. Because the thing that I've always done when going to an airport is gotta arrive early, multiple hours early. It's better to arrive at an airport way early and have nothing to do than to arrive late and be panicking. Oh, let me tell you. I'll talk more about that later, because I'll talk more about that later. I'm not gonna like talking about the flight coming home, because that was not fun at all, but I will have to talk about that eventually. But yes, this right here was the last thing that I had for America, for food, for a whopping 2 weeks, which was boneless wings, which was nice. They were nice. The only thing I will say, though, is when I arrived at the airport and I got through all the gates, it's like, oh, so I arrived at the airport and I flew out with Lufthansa. I think that's how you pronounce it. I've always pronounced it that way. I know it's a German flight, airline. But, so I arrived early, but maybe a little too early. Because when I arrived at the airport, the baggage drop, or the baggage, whatever, the check-in, baggage drop, whatever they want to call it, that was closed for like a good 2 hours. I think. A good hour and a half, maybe. So I had to sit at the entrance of the airport for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, doing absolutely nothing. Thankfully, thanks to my new phone, I was able to have connection to my playlist of music the entire night. Which, when I was in Florida, because of my old iPhone not having any storage, I couldn't really listen to anything on the flight. I had a few things that I had downloaded, like songs and stuff like that. But it wasn't fun. It was not fun. Thankfully, that flight was only like a few hours. If that was a 9-hour flight, like my flight to Germany, I would have lost my shit, probably. I'd have lost my mind on that flight. But no, this was the last thing that I had at the airport, and it was nice. It was really good. My only thing is that these were almost $20. Just these right here, $20. That was super expensive. They were super expensive. But yeah, I got a couple pictures of the flight, and there's one right here. That's actually, yeah, I'm gonna rotate it once more this way. There we go. So that's Chicago at nighttime, or at least the outskirts of Chicago, downtown Chicago. That looks so nice. I have never flown. Actually, that's a lie. I've flown at night. But all the times that I've flown, they've been cloudy. This is like one of the only times I've ever gotten a picture of like a skyline at night. And I think this shot's amazing. Like, I love this picture right here. Cause like, I don't know what it is, but like, I love the aesthetic of a nighttime skyline like this picture. I don't understand it. I don't know why I like it so much. Because I've always thought I loved flying during the day. Because like I also got pictures of some shots of. I think this is a good shot right here. I think this is just outside London. I think this is somewhere in Europe. I know I tried to take some pictures of some shots in the daytime, but I couldn't really get much, especially with me being very high up in the clouds and all that. It was tricky. It was very, very tricky to get shots of good stuff. I got this though, which is probably the best shot of something on the flight in the daytime. Which is nice. That was nice. But going back to the city, here's another shot of it though. Here's another shot. I thought this was really cool. I love these shots a lot, okay? Although when I look at it, it looks like I'm in Flight Simulator. But I liked flying at night times. So yeah. Where is it? Okay, so I have a picture of the screen on the back of my flight, because I had the window seat, obviously, and the flight that I was on, had some really cool entertainment things on the thing. Like the flight, it had flight cameras, so I could look outside the plane even if I wasn't necessarily at the window seat, which was cool. Which was kind of cool. And the flight info and stuff like that was really detailed and it was really cool. Probably one of the best flights, or like in terms of entertainment. Probably one of the best. Probably as best as it can get, I guess. I mean, when I flew to Florida in August, I had some bit of entertainment, but then again, those flights were 3 hours at most. They were pretty quick. But yeah, I like these shots most though, obviously, especially this one. It's so nice looking at that. Like I'm just staring at this picture and it's like, it's so nice. But yeah, the flight going over wasn't terrible. Some turbulence, and because it was at nighttime, couldn't really do much of anything other than try to sleep. But the problem is that I could not sleep on the plane. I don't know how people do it. People who could sleep on planes, they're built different. They are completely built different. I can't do that. I just can't. I've tried. Like, I spent countless hours, because I have like this, like the flights coming to and back from Germany, they were about 9 hours, 8 hours. But like, I just don't know if it's because I'm so used to like at least being laid back a little bit in the seats or something like that. I don't know. So I don't exactly know what it is with me, but I just could not sleep. I mean, I could get my eyes closed and like I could like kind of doze off. I can kind of doze off. That's what I've noticed. It's like I can't completely fall asleep, but I can doze off to the point where it's like it kind of counts as sleeping almost, but not exactly. I'd say like 80% sleep. And I want to say for both flights, I had the window seat. The thing is that on the way back, I'll talk more about it when I talk about my flight back, because that's a whole different fucking story between going from here to Germany. But because when I was at the airport, going to Germany, everything was fine. Everything was nice. Really didn't have any issues at all. There was just a ton of people, and I'm not a big people person, especially in airports. It's the only thing I don't like about airports. It's crowded as hell. It's like, but I mean, yeah. One thing that I did buy that I'm glad I did was a pair of headphones. They're in my room though, so I can't show them. But when I flew to Florida, I made the mistake of not buying a pair of headphones. All I had were earbuds. That was not a good idea by me, because they were stabbing my ear. I like wearing I'm more of an earbud person than a headphone person. Unless I'm at my computer, then I have to wear headphones because they're easy. Because I like audio. That's the thing. This is what you will always notice whenever I play games that require me to either hear very well or something similar, like Call of Duty or something like that, because I want to hear everything that's going on. And that's why I kind of feel like I go a little crazy sometimes when I'm playing games like Minecraft, and I'm just like, where's that coming from? Where's that coming from? Where's that coming from? Come from left, come from the right. Because I love listening to audio from headphones. But if it's something from my phone, I usually use my earbuds. And that's just, I guess that's just normal for a lot of other people too. But yeah. When I flew to Florida, I didn't have headphones, and I only had my earbuds, which was not a very good idea at all. That was not a very good idea by me. I went to Germany. I decided to get a pair of headphones, and I bought a pair of headphones off of Amazon for like 30 bucks, 40 bucks. And I wasn't expecting anything much out of them. I just expected them. I only bought them because they were they had a very long battery life. I think it said like 50 hours. And I was like, all right, that'll work for me. I bought them, and I was like, I'm not expecting much, but they were really good. I don't know the exact model of them, so I can't tell you off the top of my head at the moment. But they were really good, and especially on this flight, they were really useful. But yeah, I just cannot fall asleep on planes. Completely asleep, I should say. I can doze off, but I can't really do much of anything outside of that. I'm trying to think. I see that. Well, that reminded me, when I was on the flight going to Germany, because we're supposed to, although on long flights you can get food with your flights, okay? So I was like, okay, I'll probably be able to eat something on the way over at some point or another. I slept through that. Or I slept through when they were handing out the food. Or like I dozed off to where they were handing out the food and I didn't get anything to eat for a little while. Which I guess was fine, because then again I was still kind of full from eating the wings from before. Because I mean, like, I am a pretty big wings person myself, so I do like to eat wings. So I was like, okay, that's fine. Ate the wings, got on the flight, and it was fine. So yeah, let's see. I got a picture of when I actually landed in Germany. It's a nice picture, kind of. But that's what, like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock? Yeah, that's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon in Munich. When I got off the plane on, what was it, Saturday? The Saturday, which was the 12th, I believe. Yeah. That's some pretty, let me tell you, okay. Let me tell you that the airport itself is pretty sweet. Look at this shot. This is the shot of the airport. That looks, I was very surprised with how amazing Munich's airport looks. That is a really cool shot. That had McDonald's, Starbucks. That had a lot of stuff around it, which was kind of cool. The only problem is that I did get lost trying to find my way to my Uber. I think I tweeted this out too when I initially landed. I made it to the airport. I thankfully managed to find my stuff, my luggage. I was able to find it because I do this a lot whenever I travel. I don't usually like to take on carry-ons or like do like or anything like that. Oh, thank you for the hat pat, Sema. Thank you, thank you. Should move that. There we go. Moved that at the last second. But yeah, I never like to like actually take any of the carry-on stuff with me. I usually like to just walk around the airport kind of empty-handed. I say kind of empty-handed because if I can fit it in my pockets, I carry it with me. Like my phone, my headphones, my chargers. Although every time I carried a charger, it kind of felt useless because I couldn't use them. Thankfully, my phone never died. My phone never died when I was at any of the airports or anything like that. So I didn't really need the chargers at all, but I did. Still take them with me. So I arrived at the airport in Munich, and I found my luggage and stuff, and I grabbed it, and I was like walking around. And I don't carry battery packs mainly because I used to own one. And I used it every once in a while, but because I also bought a new phone and the battery life on my iPhone it's better. Not perfect, it's not long by any means, but it gets me through the day, and it doesn't, my old iPhone used to go from, at least before upgrading it, would go from 100% to like 60% in almost like 10 minutes, but now it's like, I could almost go through the entire day without charging my phone at all, which is kind of neat. So yeah, I don't really carry any of I don't carry any battery packs with me or any like portable chargers with me, because especially at this time, it's like I don't really need them. At least I don't think I need them. Maybe at some point I do around when my stuff starts wearing out. But no, I don't carry battery packs. But anyways. I'm going through this airport, expectedly I was going to get lost at some point. Not because of the language, but just because of the fact it's like, well, it's a brand new airport, and I've never been at this airport before. Of course I'm going to get lost, maybe. Granted, there's signs and stuff like that. Like, I was able to get from my plane all the way to the baggage claim just fine. I was able to find everything just fine. It's just, again, dealing with trying to get from one place to the other, to the parking lot, kind of difficult. So, I requested an Uber to go from the airport to my hotel, which was already between the two, a half hour, so I was actually going to be able to see the scenery of outside of the city for quite some time, and I got to see how European drivers are, more specifically German drivers, which I'll talk about here in a second. But I got lost again, like I said, because I took this picture and I just kept walking straight because I knew that my Uber was about to arrive. I could not figure out for the life of me where the exit was, because I thought, like, because every airport that I've been to usually has like a specific spot where you can exit to go to a parking lot. And I was like, okay, maybe this airport was one of them too. So I was walking all over the place. I stumbled into, I think it was I don't think it was called the parking garage, but it was full of cars. I think it was kind of like where you could request to go grab a car and drive. Rent a car, I think that's what it's called. But I ended up in that area. I ended up not only in that area, but I also ended up on the ground level of it, And I went up to maybe the 3rd level of it, trying to figure out where I'm supposed to go to get out. And I'm like walking through this entire rent-a-car area, trying to find my way out, and it felt like I was like, I felt like I was trapped in a box because I could not find my way out. And the Uber driver calls me at least like 2 or 3 times, asking if, you know, where am I at? And I'm like, I'm somewhere. I'm somewhere. I don't know where. I'm somewhere. But after like 15, 20 minutes, close to a half hour of trying to walk around, trying to be all like, where am I at? Where am I at? Is it here? Is it here? Do I go here? Do I go here? I found my way out, found the Uber. I got in and drove to the hotel. I didn't get any shots of like the scenery and stuff like that because I was too mesmerized by it to really whip out my phone and be all like, take a picture. So I wasn't able to do that. But oh my lord, let me tell you, the German drivers. I don't know, is it European drivers in general, or are German drivers and European drivers in general different? Because they're different because German drivers, at least specifically them, they are completely different than the typical American drivers. At least that's what I've noticed. Because I was riding in the back of the Uber, and not only is the guy going 120 kilometers, which is, I think, like 80? Isn't that around 80 miles an hour? I don't know. I'm not very good at those two conversions, at least, especially not off the top of my head. But like, he was hammering that thing throughout the interstate and throughout the highways and stuff like that. My God. It was crazy. And every car, and it could be because of the fact that the car culture in Europe is a lot more alive than American car culture. I mean, hell, Top Gear was made for European car culture in the first place, and yeah, there you go. I mean, like, that kind of shows off how car culture is over there in Europe. But like, every car that I saw on the street had to have been I don't think I saw a car older than 2005 out on the streets. At least on the way there. Now, of course, there were people who were driving their luxury cars from like the old days, okay, like from the 60s and 70s. But those cars were not like, you know, they're like, they chose those because, I don't know, like, it felt different. It felt different, you know what I mean? Like, when people buy old cars, old classic cars here in America, it's kind of like what they did. That's how it was over in Europe. However, it felt different. In a weird way, it just felt different. I'm trying to think how else to explain it. But like, if it wasn't a classic car on the streets, it was a brand new Tesla, a brand new Porsche, a brand new, just everything brand new. If it wasn't an old classic mobile, it was a brand new car, which is crazy. Because here, it's always, if you can afford a 4-door, if you can afford like a typical van or whatever, you got it. But like, holy moly, everything was different over in Europe in terms of the car culture. But I guess that was to be expected. But yeah, like old cars, though, I love looking at them. I love looking at the old classics too. It was just a bit of a surprise seeing how like every other car that wasn't an old luxurious car was very much a very, very old car. I was actually able to get this picture right here, although it is sideways because, yeah. Let me see if I'll transform that real quick. Am I not able to flip that? How? How the heck am I not supposed to? You know what? I have an idea. Okay. Give me a second. I don't understand why it does this. I'll be completely honest, I don't understand why it does this sometimes. There we go. Oh, now it's completely upside down. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Oh my god. I don't like importing pictures from my phone onto this computer sometimes, and this is one of the reasons why. These pictures are huge. Why are they so huge? There we go. Okay, now it's small, but you get the point that I'm trying to make. So this is one of the #1 things that I've noticed about, more specifically, Munich in Germany. Now, I don't mind looking at the classic architect. I honestly kind of thought that the architect kind of feel in Munich, I should say, kind of looked really unique in a way. Because all the cities that I look at, because listen, when you live in the middle of nowhere for your entire life, the #1 place that I'm always going to pick, or type of place I should say, whenever I want to travel, is a city. So I look at a ton of different cities. I've looked at a ton. All over the world in terms of pictures, yes. I've looked at London, San Francisco, Los Angeles, New York, Daytona, and Florida. Overseas, I've looked at Hong Kong, I've looked at Tokyo, Osaka. I've looked at Berlin, I've looked at Paris, I've looked at Rome. I've looked at many different cities, and I've been to all the places that I've traveled to. All of them have really been in the cities, or at least in higher populated areas, just on the outskirts of a big city. Munich was definitely one of the most different cities that I've been to in terms of the architect. Because the architect looked really old style. Like 18th century, 19th century kind of builds. And I get that, I expected that. And that's what makes Munich unique in a way. And I kind of enjoyed it. Like, this building right here in the picture, this is what you see a lot of these kinds of buildings in Munich. I don't know if that's all throughout Germany, because like I said, the only other city that I've looked at is Berlin for a while. And probably a question that I got asked this question quite a few times, especially when talking to Astra, because she was having a Twitter space, and I decided to join it, and we kind of started chit-chatting a little bit, and she just kind of she asked the question that everybody has always kind of asked me, especially when taking this trip. They've asked me oh, why did you pick Munich, or why did you go to Germany? Why did you go to, and there is a story behind it. There is. It's not a very typical story of how you set your traveling destination, okay? Because mine was literally was a little different, to say the least. So, back last year, actually around this time last year, I bought a flight to Osaka because I was I wanted to fly to Japan. I wanted to visit Japan last year. And I think I talked about this before, but I can't remember exactly if I have or not, but I'm just going to say it again here anyways. I wanted to travel to Japan last year around the time, around a month after I would have debuted. I would have literally debuted, and then a month after I debuted, been oh, sorry, I gotta take a nice little trip to Osaka. I'll be back. See ya. Didn't happen for obvious reasons. It didn't happen. So originally, Lufthansa had their little flight coverage plan, whatever it was called. I don't know what it was exactly called. They gave me the flight in terms of the purchase, I should say. They gave me that back in credits. That at the time, And I look back. I remember looking back, and it at the time, it was book by the end of March, travel by the middle of October for these credits. And I was like, okay. Around New Year's time, they randomly changed that policy to not only do I have to book by the end of March, but also travel by the end of March. So around that time, I was like, okay, I need to pick a new destination because Japan's not going to be open by the middle of March. Funny enough, it has been announced that they are starting to open back up to almost everything except tourists. Albeit probably by the end of the year. I don't think they'll still be opened up completely, but that's just my thinking, and I usually don't think very good. But they're open back up for business people and students. Foreign students and foreign business workers, I should say. So that's a good sign. That's a good sign. I think they'll be open back up by next spring, though. Definitely. Although every time I say that, every time I keep predicting that, they still end up being closed for tourists. Eventually, I'll travel over there. That's several years in the making for me, so that'd be a bigger trip for me. And I'm definitely going to be gone for a lot longer than if I jump over to Germany because I really want to be over there again. So yeah. I had to scramble and find a destination, and Munich became one of the top destinations. I could have went to Ireland, I could have went to Britain, I could have went to France, I could have went to a lot of other destinations. I decided to go with Germany because I was just like, well, why not? One of my friends is moving to Germany, so I was like, I'll say, fuck it, you know? I'm gonna go over to Germany, see what it's like over there, see what the German culture's like, because, I mean, a lot of people recommended that I visit there at least once in my life. A lot of the different travelers that I talk to as well and listen to, blah, blah, blah. They always say, like, Germany's a place that everybody should at least visit once in their lifetime. And I was like, okay, fine, whatever. I'll do it. Oh, that reminds me. At the airport, they had... oh, god damn it, it's upside down. Funny enough, it's upside down. They had this right at the airport, which I thought was really cool. While being on the subject of the car culture, that thing looks sexy as fuck, dude. God, I love that car so much. Like, looking at that car, it's nice. It is nice. But yes, I picked Munich because of the fact that it was just like, I kind of had to go there. Let's see. So now this next one's gonna be this one. So I have a picture of my hotel. A nice little wide shot of the hotel, I should say. I picked a real good fucking... this is a real good shot of me. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Alright. So you got a leg reveal. You kind of get a leg reveal for me. Look at okay, so yeah, that's the hotel that I stayed in, though. It's a nice hotel. It's a nice hotel, nice shot of everything. Nice little TV and everything. Came with a mini fridge, which was inside the... right next to the little shelf right there, which you can see. The blanket was really comfortable. The whole bed, I should say, was really comfortable. And the window had a nice little view. I kind of want to say it had a nice little view of everything. But the definition of everything in that sense would be that I had a view of 2 hotels directly in front of me. A restaurant directly below those hotels. A couple shops underneath. Or right next to those fucking... yeah, I had 2 hotels, lots of shops, couple restaurants and cafes around that same street. and a place under construction, which kind of got a little annoying during some mornings because, or at least during like the mid-morning hours, like around 10 or 11 o'clock, it would always get noisy because of the construction going on outside. It's whatever. I'm used to that being a huge thing over here. It happens. It really happens, and yeah, probably one of my favorite parts. Oh boy, you want to know what one of my favorite parts about this hotel was, though? It was right across the street from a club. It was right next to right next to a club. Now, I didn't actually go into the club because, unfortunately, I have to not only have a reservation, but I can't go in by myself. So, unfortunately, I could not tell what kind of club it was, but judging by the shit that they had going on outside, it was one of those kinds of clubs. Wow. So, yeah. That was outside that place. Which was kind of fun, not gonna lie. During the weekends, it did get pretty busy and noisy and stuff like that, which was kind of But, yeah. I posted on Twitter that because I haven't been overseas in quite some time, it was my first time handling foreign currency in quite some time. But here, I got a couple more shots of the nice little city, the city architect of Munich. Here's one good shot here that I like. This was actually a pretty relatively popular area, in Munich. I don't remember what the place was called exactly, but I think it was like a shopping mall area because it had a lot of different areas. I didn't actually go inside of it or like, because around the bottom right of the picture, there's like an area where you can go inside. I never went into there. I only just looked really at the outside areas of it. I didn't really venture much into there, but I just, because when I was doing my walking and stuff like that, because I did a lot of walking, and I think I still have that picture of my steps and stuff like that, that I'll talk about here in a little bit. But I really enjoyed going through more of the northern part of Munich because of the fact that, like, these kinds of shopping areas and malls, I think, they were pretty much everywhere, which is to be expected because it is a fucking city. But I mean, I loved it. I loved walking around these areas and like looking at these this architect. Now, granted, like I said, when I was talking about Munich and its architect, I've been more used to either the more modern or futuristic like architect of certain cities. Osaka, for instance, being more like not futuristic, but advanced and everything. Hold on. Like, okay, let me do this real quick. Let me grab a picture of Osaka real quick. And I just want to compare the, here it is. Let me get a good picture. This is kind of a good picture. Let me see if I can... Okay, let me get this up real quick. Man, I'm really good at naming my sources in OBS, I'm just saying. I mean that sarcastically because like because I always end up wondering why I'm like not finding what I need to find, either turn off or lock or move or whatever. Then I realize, oh yeah, it's just because most of my stuff is a slam on the keyboard. Here it is. Okay. So, let's see. Let's do this. Let's just like, okay, so comparing Osaka to Munich, okay? I have a better picture of Munich here, I think. I think I do. Right here. Do you see the difference here? The differences here between these two? The differences between Munich and Osaka, quite a lot. Quite a huge difference. That's kind of... I always like, because like, okay, so I'm a huge Japan guy. I don't know what it is about Japan and its culture and stuff like that. It makes me want to travel there. It makes me want to move there. That's my ultimate goal in life, is to move to Japan. I don't know what makes me so much... I don't know why I'm into that culture. I don't know why. Because the architect of Osaka is crazy compared to Munich. Look at Munich, like the culture of, or architect, I should say, of Munich is so different than Osaka. Osaka looks more modern, if not more advanced or futuristic. Munich is more of like 18th, 19th century stuff. So it's like, whoa, whew, yeah. It's nuts. Also, this picture is possibly one of my favorite pictures of all of the trip because of the fact that it's like the clouds up top. Oh my god, looks so nice with the fisheye lens stuff like that. It looks nice. That picture looks really nice. But yeah, it's insane. Let's see. What's another city that I could compare this to? Let's look at no, I just clicked Alt on accident. Let's look at what's a good picture of LA? What's a good picture of LA? I don't know if there's really like a good shot of LA per se that isn't just fucking skyscrapers. I think this picture will do it justice. Maybe. Let me grab this picture. Let me just grab it and let me put this in real quick. Let's see. Yeah, let's try this one. Oh, great. That picture's bigger. Great. Gotta love it. Okay. So this is LA, the aesthetic of LA, or the architect of LA, I should say. I'm moving myself up, which I guess I could do. Let me move this up. And then let me move LA up just a little bit. There we go. And then do that. But yeah. So, pretty much, no matter what city I try to compare Munich to, the architect of Munich is absolutely historical. A lot more historical than any of the other cities. Because like I said, a lot of other cities are more modern. Even Los Angeles, it just looks modern, you know? Maybe a little advanced in some of the skyscrapers and architectural stuff. Munich, there's like very little modernization. The only thing that really looks modern in a lot of Munich is their cars. There's another shot. Like, this is what I mean. This is what I mean. Like, the public transportation in general, very modernized, very, yeah, just very modernized. But the buildings themselves are very 18th and 19th century. Very, very old style buildings and monuments and all that sort of stuff. There's a few areas that I visited that looked kind of modern. There was actually a huge like indoor mall that I think had a movie. I don't think it had a movie theater, but it had a lot of movie posters on the outside. So I think it was a movie theater. But that's like the only touch of modern that I saw in all of Munich, other than the transportation. So it feels weird going back in time. It felt like I went back in time for 2 weeks. It's kind of nice. It was kind of nice though. And I'll be completely honest. I've never been in a European country. Okay. So I didn't expect myself to really get used to the whole culture of transportation. By like walking, what I mean is like walking, biking, trains and buses. Because that's the thing with American culture is that even in LA, even in New York, even in Florida, even in Chicago, public transportation just kind of doesn't exist. Like it does, but a lot of people just go around in cars, sometimes bikes, but I rarely see people use the trains, use the buses, and even if they do, it's very, I don't know, it's like very outdated technologies and stuff like that. I don't know. It's probably because I haven't really been in very many American cities. I just don't, it's night and day between the two. That's what I'll say. As somebody who's lived in America for quite some time, in fact. I much rather enjoy the European public transportation stuff rather than the lack of one here in America. So, yeah. Let's see. When were these pictures taken? These pictures had to have been taken, I believe, in let me see. Monday, yeah. Because I know I took the Saturday, because I landed in Munich on Saturday afternoon. I took Saturday and Sunday to kind of relax in a way. One of the first things that I did, though, when I arrived in Germany was I went and walked around to try and find a shop that would sell a phone charger, because American phone chargers will not work with European outlets. Found that out the hard way. So yeah, I had to go out and I had to go find a shop on the street that would sell a phone charger. Took me a while to find one. Actually, no, it didn't really take me that long. It took me a while to get to it because a lot of the traffic was pretty backed up, and yeah. So, and I had some cash on me, thankfully. I had cash for it because a lot of places, in at least a lot of, I don't want to say a lot of places, a lot of small businesses over in Munich do not take cards, or they did not like me using my debit card. It's very surprising because it's supposed to work everywhere. My debit card that I have here had, at least when I looked it up, said that it was, allowed to be used anywhere, almost anywhere that accepted cards, forward transactions and stuff like that. It's just, I would have maybe a small fee because of a international transaction, and the conversion rate was kind of high compared. So that was another thing too. Buying stuff on the card costing me a little bit more than normal because of the conversion between euros to dollars. I think if I bought something for like $7, I was paying roughly like $8 or $9 in total because of fees and stuff like that and the conversion rate, which sucked. That sucks. But hey, when you're traveling, you cannot travel on a budget. You cannot travel on a budget. You try to travel on a budget, that budget's gonna go gone and before you know it. I also learned that the hard way when I left for home. I'll talk about that here in a little bit too. But yeah, let me get rid of Los Angeles because yeah, I'm not going to really talk much more about the architect. It was just a point that I wanted to bring up because I thought it was kind of interesting how like Munich's architect and its buildings and stuff like that are loads different than the architect here, and at least in a lot of American cities. Trying to think. Yeah, between the Saturday that I got off the plane in Germany and Monday when I was walking, I didn't really do much other than so I didn't get any pictures of a lot of the food that I ate because I'm not that kind of person. I don't really like to take pictures of food. I sometimes do, especially if it's like a brand new food that I've had, or like, or if it's like something kind of new that I've never had, or if it's like a specific German food that's only in Germany. But if it's like something like McDonald's or Burger King or whatever that I could probably get here over in America, I'm just like, I'm not gonna take a picture of it. Why should I? So, a lot of people will probably try out like new foods for their first night, or they'll only eat new foods when they travel to a new country or a brand new culture in general. Try some random stuff that they may or may not like. Now, my first night was spent eating Five Guys burgers and fries. I ate a fucking, what is it? A cheese dog. I ate a cheese dog on my first night. I loaded up the Uber Eats app, and I was like, what could I have to eat here? I scrolled down, there was Five Guys. I was like, what the fuck? This place has Five Guys? Let's go! I had Five Guys. Because I don't have that here. At least not in my area. I was like, fuck yeah, I'll have some Five Guys. I ate Five Guys. Had a goddamn... a nice little cheese dog, and it was... oh, that chick. That was awesome. That was good. Yeah, it wasn't as expensive as I thought it would be either. I think that cost me like €10. Oh wait, with the conversion rate, that was like $15. But yeah. And the one thing... No. Is this... I don't know if this is an entirely a European thing or not. Mineral water is such a huge thing for Germany. I don't know if that's all of Europe or if that's or if that's just Germany. But like, mineral water was like the only thing I could really drink that was water. Unless I wanted tap water, which was I don't know about that one, especially if it came from a bathroom. I'm trying to think. Because I know, like, pretty much, because it's not that I'm not much of, like, a water person or I don't like mineral water. It's just, like, I don't know, whatever I was, like, because I'm just so used to just drinking water that, like, whenever I see the word mineral water, I'm like, I don't know about that one. Because I know, thank you for the bonk. That hammer's small. I need to up that hammer size. But mineral water is such a big thing. And I mean, like, drinking that for like 2 weeks, I kind of got used to it. But at first I was just like, I don't know. It's just, I didn't like how I was drinking water, but it was fizzy like a soft drink. I don't know. It didn't seem right. It just seems sus. Like, just drinking fizzy water. Like, it just did not... It's a sentence I thought I would never say. But yeah, and they also had I lived off of Coke and Sprite and some Fanta, however you want to pronounce that. Because, I don't know, I'm more of a, because, like, it's not that I drink soft drinks all the time, but, like, I like to have a mix of everything in my life when it comes to what I drink. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Let me get some more shots here of, okay. So, when was this? This was the 15th, and this was the 14th. So this, okay. So, it took me a while before I really started, like, eating different things, but let's start getting a little hungry, shall we? So, there's a special kind of dish in Germany that I was recommended to eat by a couple of German VTubers. I can't remember. Hold on, I may be able to figure out who it was that recommended it to me real quick. Was it... Hold on. Okay, there was okay, yeah, it was Looney. That's right, it was Looney. Because she recommended that I try out... Oh, wait, no, actually. It was both Looney and Shalon. Yeah, that's right. Those two recommended that I try out this dish right here. Now, they call it currywurst. But I'm calling it the curry best. Because, my God, was that thing... Probably one of the best things that I've ever had in Germany. Bar none. Bar none. Like, it was one of the greatest things I've had to eat over in Germany. And I'd almost say it's probably one of the best things I've had pretty much this entire year. Okay? So, it's kind of self-explanatory just by this picture alone. But it is... In this picture, I should say, it's 2 sausages covered in curry sauce with a lot of fries right next to it. And it was severely good. Like, on a 0 to 100 scale, I'm talking like 80%. Like, it was 80 out of 100. I would almost go as far as say 90. Like, it was so good. I'm trying to think, like, I didn't really eat it too much because of the fact that it was kind of expensive. I don't know why, but where I got it from, it was kind of expensive. So I tried not to eat it too much because also I didn't want to spend like hundreds of dollars on food. Because here's the thing, like, you know, I like eating stuff, but I have such a small stomach that I'm just like, I can't eat very much. You know what I mean? Like... It's very unfortunate because, like, I get very hungry for a lot of stuff. But because of, like, how portion sizes are, if something is too high of a portion size, even if it's the greatest thing on this planet, I'm not going to eat it because I don't like wasting stuff. So I'm like, I can really get by with, like, maybe 1 meal a day. Maybe. Like, even then with that 1 meal, it's not very much. I can really get by. It doesn't take a lot to satisfy me for an entire 24 hours in terms of food. Yeah. So there's that. I had that one a few nights. And let me tell you, so I said that I wasn't much of a breakfast person. Because I would always wake up late. I would always wake up late. And I would never, ever really have time to eat breakfast. So I had this one day for breakfast. I already showed this off. The pancake Oreo. This is what I had the next day. I say I don't have a big stomach. I ate all 6 of those. I ate all 6 of those donuts. Like it was nothing. Some days it's a small stomach, some days it's not. It wasn't much of a small stomach this day. I don't know. I don't know what it was. But these donuts, they kicked. Like, that was 100 out of 100 right there. Those donuts were good. Dunkin' Donuts always slaps. I don't have a Dunkin' Donuts near me. Okay, the only time I'll ever have Dunkin' Donuts is if I ever take a trip somewhere to a city. Okay? So every time I take a trip, I am spending, I don't give a fuck, I'm spending hundreds of dollars on Dunkin' Donuts because I love Dunkin' Donuts. My sleep schedule, like, kind of fixed itself and got back to normal over in Germany. Which sucks. Because I didn't want that. So, yeah. Oh, so good food's making... Listen, it's making me hungry, and I literally ate just, like, 10 minutes before stream. So, yeah. But, like, on my sleep schedule... Yeah, you have a good one there, Sam. Thank you for stopping by. Yeah, my sleep schedule fixed itself, kind of. Like, I would sleep during, like, 9, 10 o'clock at night, and I'd wake up at, like, around 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. Which, I mean, would be nice to wake up to if a lot of things were open around that time. It's just unfortunate because a lot of time was spent in the hotel room in the morning because of the fact that, like, the hotel had breakfast in the morning, but I never actually went to eat hotel breakfast because I wanted to really eat out. I like to eat out and stuff like that in the mornings. And, it was unfortunate because, like, a lot of places weren't really open till, like, 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning, so I spent usually, like, 3 to 4 hours just in bed doing fuck all. I was doing nothing. Which sucked. I didn't like doing that. But, yeah. A lot of time was spent figuring out what to eat for breakfast. Which is surprising, because I'd never do that. I'd never do that. I sent this picture on Twitter once. With that spoon in there, making a rivalry and stuff like that. So... I went to so one of the biggest brand new things that I was introduced to over in Germany was the idea of cafe hopping. Now, of course, I've heard a lot of people like talk about going from one cafe to the other. And being all like, you know, yeah, the term is cafe hopping. I've always wanted to do that. I always like being in cafes. I always like relaxing in those kinds of things. Because, I mean, especially because this one right here that was around the corner from my hotel. Literally just exit the hotel, walk down the sidewalk, and cross the street, and boom, I'm in this cafe. It was really good. Like, not just the stuff that they had, like all the drinks and stuff were really good, but the place itself was really nice and comfortable. Like, in this picture, I'm sitting at a stool, but I went there out of, like, the 14 days that I stayed there. I went there almost every other morning, if not every morning. I went into this cafe. Granted, it was a bit expensive. Every day I spent, like, €5. If it was just one drink or two, it was at least €5. It was never less than that, which is unfortunate, but I mean, yeah, what can you do? It was really comfortable. The place was really comfortable, and I enjoyed spending about like an hour or two every single day just sitting and doing absolutely nothing, or letting my thoughts pass time through, let time pass through or whatever. It was really nice. Like, it was really good. The drinks and stuff were really good. The staff was really nice. Everybody was so nice. And quiet, I should say. I enjoyed it. I really much enjoyed this cafe. I went to a couple different cafes, but this one in this shot, probably the one that was around the corner from my hotel, probably was one of my favorites. And talking to, I'll talk more about another cafe that I went to later. Probably in a few minutes actually. Because, I mean, again, like, I got a lot of pictures, but I never got, a ton of different pictures. A lot of pictures that I took were really just me taking a couple of the same spot. So let's see. So I went out walking. Was it the same day that I took that? Yes, I did. I went out walking, and I found another place that was really fucking hilarious to me. That was right near my hotel. So down the street from where I was at, was this place. I don't know what it is with I've noticed that the Germans have more balls than Americans do when it comes to what they have around their cities. The shop that the stuff that they were selling inside this shop is exactly what this sign says. I was speechless. I was speechless before I took the picture. I was speechless after I took the picture. I'm still speechless every time I think of that picture of that shop. I love Germany, dude. I want to go back to Germany. Such a fucking hilarious fucking shop, I swear. So let me look at. I got a lot of different shots and stuff like that. Cause I went and did a lot of walking. Let's see. Let me open up this picture though, real quick. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So. Okay. Let me show my picture. This picture. Where's it at? Right here. So. Wow. Okay. What the fuck? Okay. Give me 1 second. I'm not gonna mess with this. I'm just gonna put this picture up one more time. And then. Okay. Let me do this instead. Image and keyboard smash. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. Boom. There we go. So here is my steps, because I kept track of my steps throughout the trip, okay? And this kind of gives away a lot of the stuff that I did during the trip and how I tend to move around on this trip, I should say. So everything from the 13th onwards was the trip from Germany, and everything before that, obviously, yeah. Normally, so I don't have a mouse here, so you can't see me at all. You know what? Hold on. Let me see if I can grab an image of a mouse. Mouse.png. Yeah, that is not. Can any of these be transparent? Hold on. I just want to grab a pointer real quick so I can make this work easier for me. No. You bitch. I like how none of these are transparent. I love this so much. I love this so much. Hold on. Give me a minute. Oh, sweet. Can I have this one? Ha! Oh my god. I love this so much. Alright, let me get it. Let me get you. Okay. Image. Where you at? There we go. I love this so much. Hydrate. I will hear just 1 second. Okay. There we go. Now I got a mouse here, so now you can actually see what I'm pointing to, so I could refer. If I'm referring to something, you will see it. All right. Okay. Give me 1 second. Let me make sure everything is also locked, so I'm only moving the mouse. I was gonna do something, and I just completely wiped. That completely got wiped. Oh. Okay, yeah, that's still good. Never mind. Okay. Anyways, back to this. So, everything from the it's actually from the 11th onwards. So, like, right here, this one right here, all the way to here was the Germany trip. I usually walk a couple hundred steps, depending on if I work or not. You can tell when I work. You can tell when I work. My job. These kinds of days right here where it's like really high up, those are usually days that I usually work. And then these days are usually like what I do when I'm not doing really much of anything. Kind of funny. But yeah, as you can see, I did a lot of walking through my trips, especially near the end of the trip too. I took some days off, especially during the weekend. I'm gonna hydrate actually now that I think about it. Let me see. I almost forgot to hydrate. Anyways. I tend to walk a lot when I'm on trips. When I went to Florida, I actually walked a lot more than this right here. Because I think I spent, okay, let's see, I had spent 1, 2, 3, only 4 days. 4 or 5 days out of my trip, out of a 2-week trip, were spent relaxing, or not doing much of anything. Which, I don't know. That could be positive for some people. Means that, like, hey, at least I actually took some time to actually walk around during a trip or something like that. I don't know. Some people may find that negative and be all like, why aren't you doing 1,000 steps every day? I don't know. I don't know. You tell me. It's like to be lazy sometimes. But, yeah, this right here, there's a reason why it's 11,000 fucking steps. There's a reason why, and I'm not very happy when I'm going to be talking about this later on, because this is when I was coming back. So I'm not a big fan of that. That's my second most steps walked in a day, at least in the last year. In the last year, I should say. Then I don't know about that overall, because I don't know much about it after last year. I think the most amount of steps I've walked in a day is about 15 to 16,000 steps. If I beat that, if I beat that for the steps that I walked that day, I would have cried. So yeah. Okay. So let me go back to... This is very scuffed if you cannot tell, but then again, it's been like that for the last 6 months. Got some extra pictures here from the walk that I had that day that I went to that cafe. Let's see, give me a second. Okay. I really like this place the most. Because it looks aesthetically really nice. I thought I remembered the name of this place, but I do not remember it at all. I do remember one place, though, that I walked to. I think it may have been that same day. Was it the same day? No, it wasn't. It was actually the day later. Never mind. But I walked down the city streets of Munich. I walked down this street. It was really nice. There's a really nice shot here of this downtown area. There was a little bit of modernization here in this shot, which was kind of nice. But yeah. And then, what's it, the next day? Yeah, the next day I went down and walked, and then this is what I saw a lot of during my stay in Germany. They had a lot of artwork on the sides of buildings if they had the space for them. Because all the buildings, you probably have noticed this already from some of the pictures. A lot of buildings are like clustered right together, so a lot of times you don't have enough space for like these kinds of artworks. But like this is a real nice artwork of a vase, however you want to pronounce it. It really looks nice. During that same walk, it's funny. It's very funny because I would be walking around. And there'd be buildings right next to buildings, right next to buildings, right next to buildings, like this picture right here. There were buildings right next to buildings, on top of buildings, on top of buildings. This was right next to the train station, by the way. I was not right next to the Munich train station. I was right near it, though, like about a 5-minute walk from it. So that's why it was pretty busy. But yeah, there's buildings right next to buildings, and then you go to just this spot right here. St. Paul. This is where I remember this spot the most because of how unique this spot is. St. Paul's Park, I think it was called, or something like that. Something close to it. It's just so wide open. Like, I think this place is supposed to be made for, like events and stuff. And there's a park. There was a park to the right of this picture, because if, like, you're in my POV, if this was my POV, which it kind of is, to the right was a full-fledged park, like a playground. There were a lot of playgrounds around this area. But, yeah, this area was just super wide open. Like it was miles of just wide open space, which was nice. It was kind of refreshing as well, because it was like, you get so used to seeing, buildings right next to each other and everything around, and then you just go to this place right here and it's just wide open. Let me get this pulled up real quick. Hold on. I may be able to, I think I may be able to find this quick. I mean, it won't be that hard to find it. Let's see. I get a satellite. I'm gonna pull up a satellite image, and then I'm gonna fucking. Where is it at? Where is it at? Is it right here? Was it right there? No, I don't think that was it. No, it wasn't. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna find it. I know it was somewhere around here. I wasn't too far away from the Olympic Stadium, but I never got a chance to go to it. Very unfortunate. I was hoping I would be able to go, but I was not able to go there. Let's see. Where is... If I can find where the train station was at, I may be able to find... the place easier. Maybe? Maybe not. Let's see. Hold on. I'm gonna find this real quick. So there's the airport, right? At the airport? Yeah. Down here. I'm trying to remember this. Because Munich is such a huge place. It's not very hard to get lost in this area. There it is. Right. Yes. Oh, yes. I remember this now. Oh, yes. I remember this now. Okay. Alright, perfect. Yeah, there it is. I found the train station. Yeah, now I see. How far was I from the Olympic Stadium, actually? Wow. I was still pretty far, but not super duper far. Oh, that's right, the Audi Dome. I remember that. I didn't go to it because I didn't walk very far from this place. I thought this place was called St. Paul or something like that. Maybe a place around here was called St. Paul something. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let me pull this up real quick. I just wanted to get that pulled up. I doubt that'll pull up the wrong, because I got two Chrome tabs, specific Chrome tabs open. Let's see. You know what? I do have this pulled up. Okay. All right. So, this, okay, well, that did not help. Okay, so this picture right here was taken around this area right here. So, let's see. We got the mouse back up here so you can see. All right, so this right here, this picture was around, I think it was like right at this, hold on, give me a second. I'll pull this up, pull this to the side. You can actually see my mouse if I did this. So I really don't need to have the image up. Okay, but, yeah. This image right here was around this area right here. What the hell do you want? Get out of here. So, yeah. I stayed around somewhere in this area. I visited this train station quite a bit right here. Quite a few times, in fact, that I stay in that, not stay, I should say, visited that train station. Which you'll see here in a little bit. I got some pictures of the train station itself. I didn't really go too far from, this area here. In fact, like, this entire shot of this entire shot right here, I pretty much ventured anywhere. So I was around here at some point in the last 2 weeks. I didn't really go very far from the heart of Munich, I should say, because I didn't really do anything. I didn't really plan anything. So because I didn't plan anything, I didn't plan on moving anywhere other than Munich. So I was just like, okay, I'm just going to stay in Munich, and that's just how things are going to be. Oh, yeah, this right here was around this area right here, actually. Yeah, I can't remember if it was... May have been right here. Yeah, it was right here. Because that's the park I was talking about. So it's actually like right here where I was standing that got this shot. Yeah, I remember that. My point still stands. It's like you go from this kind of area with just buildings right next to buildings, shops right next to shops, areas next to areas. And then you just go to this, and you just randomly stumble upon this spot right here. It's insane. It caught me so off guard. I was like, what the hell? And I got a couple pictures of that. And by a couple pictures, I only got like one during that walk, but I got a few more during the entire walk. I don't know, did I put them in here? Yes, I did. So here's another shot of it. Just look how wide open that is. That is wide open as hell. So this area right here is really fucking nice. Albeit it is very, very, very different from this area right here. It's so different. I don't know how it's so... I don't know how to explain it. I guess the best example would be, like, imagine if you went to... I don't know, like... Let's say if you went from, like, New York City. Like, if this was New York City. And then he just randomly stepped into Midwest America. Like, that's pretty much what this was. I mean, honestly, when I zoom out of Munich, okay, because I had to take this route to get to the airport, it didn't take long before I ended up like just in the absolute barren wastelands of nothingness. Like, it was kind of crazy how quick it goes from lots of everything to barely anything up there. It's yeah. So I mean, like, that's kind of something you see a lot of times in Munich. You go from a lot of stuff to a lot of nothing. However, this is like very wide open, very, very wide open. So yeah, that's pretty much Munich in a nutshell. Here's another shot. Kind of a nice little shot too of the area, and it's got a nice little shot of a castle. I don't remember what that place was called. I remember that place had a nice little name, but I can't remember it exactly at the moment. And okay, so let's see. The weather. This is probably one of the biggest culture shocks. Damn it, it did again. Okay, you know what? Every time I have my own fucking screenshot, I need to remember to not do that. Okay, I'm gonna talk about that one here as soon as I get done talking about this one. Okay, there we go. Boom. So this was the weather for, I think this was the weather for, oh, fuck. Hold on. I'll remember it once I load in. When was this picture taken? 22nd. So this was a few days before I left, but the consistency of this weather, of the weather in Munich, was something that I was not used to at all. Because where I live, the weather changes pretty much on the hour. Every day feels like a new season. It could be very warm one day, and then the next day it could be back to a snowstorm. It was kind of dumb. It's kind of dumb. But over in Munich, it was always consistently nice. That's what I enjoyed the most about the trip, was the fact that the weather wasn't bad. The worst the weather got was like it was cloudy one day. In fact, what picture was it? This picture. Yeah, this picture right here, the weather was scheduled to rain. It did rain a slight bit. I don't know if you could see it in the picture, but it got a little wet. Not very much, because it didn't really rain. It just more so just kind of sprinkled a little bit. But yeah, that's pretty much the summary of the weather. Is this right here? It was sunny, nice and warm in the afternoon, kind of chilly at night. However, it was nice the entire time that I was there. It never rained. It never got cold. Unless it was early in the morning. It was nice. It was literally a breath of fresh air compared to what I'm used to here. A couple more areas that I ended up walking through. Saw another one of these kinds of buildings. Let's see. It's kind of crazy when I think about the architect of Munich. Because you got that, and then just down the road, you get these kinds of buildings. Different architect kind of buildings, and then you go to another one that looks completely different. Now, this shot of the picture, this picture was actually a really nice picture because this place right here is really nice. It's a nice little area right next to the train station. It's a nice little area that I went to. It was nice. One of the last... one of my favorite areas. Oh, that's upside down. Is the other picture upside down too? Shit, yeah. There we go. This is one of my favorite. I'm not much of a train person. I don't, I know there's a ton of other people out there that'll probably go crazy over these kinds of places. Or they would have like a hard-on or something like that for trades or something like that. People are weird. Okay. I'm not much of a trade person, but when I saw this, I was like, holy hell, this is beautiful. Could be because of the fact that the weather was also really nice and clear, as you could tell by the blinding sun in the center of the photo. But it was nice. I loved this place. So much so, I think this is one of the only places that I wanted to go back to on a walk. I went to that same place that I talked about earlier. I went to that place a few times, but I never really, like... I don't know. When I took when I went to the, oh god, the wide open area the second time, I was like, I'm just kind of like gonna look around, see how wide open it is, and it's just like, because there was nothing really there, it was just like, oh, this is kind of unique, and I was just like, okay, cool, it was nice, but this, being over top the train tracks, watching people get on and off the trains, and like watching the trains go zooming by me, underneath me, and stuff like that. And then like in the background was like here, let me show you. Like right here with this little building right here. There's a cherry on top of a nice little it was a cherry on top with a nice little picture. Because I absolutely love this area right here. This entire picture by itself was a nice picture. But I really enjoyed... I really enjoyed this, especially watching the trains coming in and out. I did get a video of this, but I don't think I have the video on me. Or at least I don't think I imported that. Kind of dumb, but... Scuff is scuff. Let's see. Got a couple pictures of the train station. Inside the train station was kind of neat, though. Did I get any early on in my trip? I don't think I did, no. Here we go. It's upside down. Shit. Here we go. So that's the train station on the inside. And I don't know why. It could be because of the fact that it's one of the first train stations I was actually able to really get inside of. But I love this so much. I love the inside of this so much. The trains just sitting inside look really nice. Had some nice stuff in the place too. And I think I tweeted this out once before too. I tweeted this out once too, that when I was traveling to grab the Dunkin' Donuts that I showed off earlier, because I went to pick it up. Because I have never really been inside of a trade station, it completely went over my head that a lot of trade stations have a lot of levels. And so if you can't find something on the ground level, more than likely you're going to find a lot of stuff underground. Or at least that's what happened when I went into the trade station. Let's see. I don't know if I'm able to go underneath or not. I wanted to see if I could do that in the don't think I'm gonna be able to do it. I wanted to see if I could get into straight view on this. I don't think so. But yeah, the trade station looked really nice. And whoa, where am I at? Okay, I went somewhere and now I have no idea where I'm at. Okay, that was weird. Anyway, it was nice walking through a trade station, and like I said, when I went to pick up the Dunkin' Donuts, it completely didn't dawn on me until like after a half hour of walking that it was like, oh, if it's not above ground, it'll be below ground. And I was right. And let me tell you, I don't know if there's pictures of the second level of space station, because I never got a chance to take a picture of it. But I felt like a shopping mall down there with the amount of stuff that was down there. There was restaurants right next to each other. There's a lot of stuff. It felt like a mini airport. Which, I mean, it kind of is. It kind of is a mini airport because of the fact that it's a trade station. But it was really nice though. I love this shot though, this picture. I got a few pictures because my mom wanted to get some pictures. So I was like, okay, I'll get some pictures and I'll send them to you. A picture of that. And then I got a picture of the sheer amount of people that are in there. Oh my god, there's a lot of people in there. Huh? I hate people. Yeah. And then I got this last shot right here. Not the best shot that I had. It was just very scuffed picture at the last second. Lol. I love this shot of the trades and stuff that I was talking about earlier. The fact that, like, you got the trades that are coming in and out of the station. Then you got the nice little buildings in the background. The modern buildings, I should say. The very few modern buildings that are around Munich. Kind of nice. It was kind of nice. And I think it's kind of crazy that I've talked a lot about Germany, and I never really talked about the drinks. Let's see, hold on. There we go. Yeah, you know, you really don't expect me to go this long without talking about drinking. I did a little bit of drinking while over in Germany, of course. It was more so wine drinking. That was pretty much about it. I didn't really drink much of beer or anything like that, which is kind of crazy because a lot of people are like, oh my god, I need to try the German beer. And it's like, nah, here's the thing. I'm not a beer drinker. I don't think drinking beer is ever... It just tastes like ass. I'm sorry. But, I'm more of a wine drinker. So, yeah. That glass was the hotel's glass, and I was just like, all right, cool. I'm just gonna buy myself a nice little thing of wine, and I'm just gonna hammer it down. I didn't really get that buzzed or anything like that. I think I'm more so of like a, if I ever like drink anything, it's gotta be like something heavy. Like it's gotta be like rum, or whiskey, or anything like that. For me to get like absolutely buzzed or hammered like on New Year's, because I remember drinking during New Year's and I got buzzed. I didn't really feel anything when I was drinking over in Germany though. Again, it could be because of the fact that I was drinking wine. Wine usually isn't very, it's only like 14%, which is crazy because like I thought 14% was supposed to do a lot to you. It didn't do anything to me. Like it really did nothing to me. Cause I tried German beer and I was just like, nah, didn't want to. I just didn't want to drink any beer. So yeah, let's see. Oh yeah. So there is one cafe that I enjoyed going to the most, and that was the Cat Cafe. I didn't realize there was a very near Cat Cafe until like very late in my trip. Because, like I said earlier, I ended up talking to Astra in a Twitter space, and she recommended that I... Because she said that there were cat cafes near Munich, and I was like, what? I want to see this. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna look up some cat cafes, and I found a cat cafe. And the cat cafe was cute. They're cute cats. Cats were cute. The drinks as well were nice too. I do have a shot of the drinks, yep. There's a shot of the drink. The cat cafe, it was really good. Really good stuff. Pretty cheap too. One of the cheapest cafes I've went to. A lot of the cats that were in that cat cafe though were asleep. But I think if I remember correctly, those cats were rescue cats. So they were cats on the street at one point, and they were rescued, which is nice. Because I know a lot of cat cafes do that, and that was one of them. And I think on that same journey, I ran into, in order to get there, I had to go through a roundabout. That's Los Angeles. I went through a roundabout, which looked really nice. So like, okay, so like here in America, we do have these roundabouts, but there are very few far in between. And not a lot of people know how to drive them. Kind of funny. It's kind of funny, but nobody knows how to drive them in America. So it was kind of nice to also have that. The shot was actually pretty cool too. The actual roundabout itself was kind of cool. Near that roundabout though was this area, very popular area. I forgot what it was called. I remember tweeting it out, and I remember looking it up, but I cannot pronounce it. There was like Ponza Plaza or something like that. Can't remember. But this is a really popular place, as you can tell by the amount of people that are in this shot. Very, very nice, very historical area. And I was like, yeah. Took a break there, did some walking, and that same day that I was walking, I ran into a couple different areas, a couple different places. That's where I also walked the over the train station again. Ran into this quote, which was kind of nice. It's upside down. Damn it. There we go. Fucking love that quote. Let's see. Oh, yeah, that's right. So, I didn't realize this until literally the night before I was supposed to leave. It kind of sucked because I wished I knew this earlier. But they had kind of like this, so like I looked this place up after a while. And I realized that this place is like for like betting and stuff like that. Which I'm not too sure what the betting rules are in Germany. I'm not too sure if I would have been able to do this. And yeah, even if I was able to do this, I don't know if I would have been skilled enough to do this right. Especially with the German language. But it was kind of nice because it was like they had a lot of sports, a lot of betting and stuff like that in this place. I didn't realize that at first, but I was like, wow, this is really cool. The place looked really nice. There were TVs, or these kinds of stands, I should say, everywhere. You could sit and watch these. So even if you weren't really so much waging on anything or anybody, you could still watch these things. Not so sure if it was more of a cafe or if it was just a betting place or not. I thought this was really cool, though. Being a sports guy, I really enjoyed this spot. I couldn't hang out very long in this because I had to go home, go back to my hotel and pack. Let's see. I do have a wide shot of the hotel room and stuff like that. A couple of them actually. Let's see. Okay. 1 second. Is this shot? This one's gonna start upside down, so I'm gonna transform it. Okay. So there's the wide shot of the hotel room that I stayed in. Like I said, the bed was nice and comfortable. Everything was very nice. And let's see. Got a shot of the bathroom. Very nice bathroom. Shower was very nice. Had very high pressure. It was funny because, like I said, when I went over to Florida, the one main issue that I had with where I was staying at was the water pressure was very low. Nice change of pace. All right, so pretty much 2 weeks were spent very nicely in that hotel room, walking around, doing all sorts of crazy shit. It was nice. It was fine. There were a few days I just didn't feel mentally good. But that was because of the fact that I was thinking about streaming and some other stuff. Not very fun to think yourself into a bad day, especially on vacation. I did that a few times, and Shalon probably got an earful of, not an earful, literally, but on Discord she got a lot of talk from me. I was like not very happy about feeling negative during my vacation. I think I said the same thing to Malcolm as well. It was not very fun. Somewhat, not very fun. But when I wasn't walking, when I wasn't, going cafe hopping and stuff like that, I was sitting in the hotel room. During the day, it sucked because the time zones and stuff like that really fucked me up. So, like, speaking on some of the negative sides of the trip, which I don't really have many of, which is a good thing to say. Time zones, yeah, that sucked. The only good thing about the time zones was that I was able to watch Sonya's streams finally at a very good time, because she would stream at 2 o'clock Germany time, which means that she would have been, I would have been able to watch her 6-month anniversary stream, which was very cool. Very nice. And I was able to watch Nuki stream. I was able to watch a lot of people stream at a very good time because of the fact that a lot of the VTubers that I watch are from European countries. So the time zones would match up pretty well. If they weren't streaming very late, they would be streaming quite, like, pretty much on time, like when I was wide awake. I'd watch them. I tried to do as much lurking as I could during that time, but the problem was that, like, a lot of times I wasn't really trying to lurk during a lot of streams. I was just trying to enjoy myself because, truth be told, sometimes watching VTubers just puts me in a bad mood. Sometimes. I don't know why. I guess it's because, like, especially on vacation when, you know, there were some days where I thought I was like, man, I didn't really need to take this 2-week trip. I didn't really need to. I could have been spending that doing something on stream. Playing Minecraft, doing something. But instead, I just spent it in Germany doing fucking nothing. Some days. That was just my negative thoughts coming in, you know. It's like, yeah, this is fun, you know, like, and a couple of the other negatives too was that, I mean, the whole new culture and stuff like that kind of got to me. So, like, not knowing a lot of the culture, I should say, kind of got to me as well. Wasn't able to really understand pretty much anything that was going on. In fact, in the shot of the hotel where you saw the TV, because it was all in German, all the channels were all in German, I could not, for the life of me, understand anything that was going on. And even if there were English shows being shown on that TV, they were all German dub. Like, they had an anime on, actually. One of the animes on one of the channels was it was like Kiki's what was it called? What was that called? What was that anime called? Hold on. I think I still got it up because they had the German name and I was like, "Oh, I want to know what that's translated to." And I think Kiki's Delivery Service, that's what it was called. They had that anime on, and I was like, wow, that was a really cool anime. But it was in German. Like, it was in the German dub. So I couldn't really understand anything that was going on, other than, you know, some parts of the story I could get from the visuals and stuff like that. It was a real nice show, and I thought I should probably watch it again at some point or another whenever I get the free time, because it looks like a real cool movie. But yeah, like, I couldn't really understand anything that was in the, on TV. So really my only entertainment came from a few channels that were actually in English. There were 2 news channels that were in English the entire time. But of course, I don't like watching just the news. So it wasn't really fun watching the same news for 24 hours, it felt like, especially because the news channels were stream channels, technically. So they would rerun the same news things. They would rerun the same stuff all the time, and it got annoying. It felt like it felt like Groundhog Day. Every few hours, I was watching the same news lines, the same everything, and it was just like, oh my god, it felt so annoying. It got annoying. I'm not gonna lie. And one of the biggest negatives is, like, okay, so when I said earlier that I tried to lurk at a lot of VTuber streams, one of the biggest reasons why I couldn't do it as much as I wanted to was because of the internet being horrible. Could have been just the hotel. Which that may have been the case because the Wi-Fi sucked. It was hard for the Wi-Fi to stay consistent pretty much the entire time that I was there. Every time I tried to, there we go. Every time I tried to watch something, talk to some of my friends on Discord, do anything really, there would be those moments where the Wi-Fi would just not exist. But because it still was a thing on my phone, it would bog down everything. Now, I thankfully had mobile data, but the problem with how it was set up, my international plan was I would only have half a gig of high-speed data. And then if I overdid it, then it was back to it being very slow. I couldn't win no matter what I tried to do. I really couldn't. I couldn't connect to any other Wi-Fi no matter how hard I tried either. Like cafe Wi-Fi, nope, nothing. Actually, the Cat Cafe had good Wi-Fi. That's the only good Wi-Fi experience that I've had that entire time, was the Cat Cafe's Wi-Fi was good on my phone. The cafe for the corner that I went to a lot couldn't even connect to their Wi-Fi, so I really had to rely on the... And as well as, like, okay, so I had to spend $10 extra if I wanted another half a gig, so I was spending... I've been spending a lot of money. And that's one of the big negatives throughout the entire trip, was that I was spending too much money. Money that I did not have, money that I will not have, and financially sunk me hardcore, but whatever. It's what happens when you take a trip. You got to prepare financially, and I thought I was prepared financially, and I was just barely prepared financially for everything. It wasn't very fun dealing with a lot of the negatives going on throughout the entire trip. But, yeah, all of that aside, I mean, the trip was good. Trying to think. Yeah, it was just... There were some points of the trip where it was, like, very hard to stay positive. But realistically speaking, when I say that, it was really only on those days where I wasn't really doing anything. Like on the 4 or 5 lazy days that I had, where I was just sitting in the hotel room when I wasn't doing anything. Well, I was doing something technically, and that was thinking negative. But it was a fun trip. Though all negative stuff that I've talked about aside, it was still a fun trip, and I definitely want to visit Germany once again sometime soon. I don't think it'll be in the near future, but it's definitely something I want to do at least sometime again, because it was fun. It was fun, it was nice, it was great. Oh, man. But what kind of hurt it was coming back from Munich. Let's see. This picture, yeah. So I'm just gonna leave this picture of the airport up for the time being, because I didn't get too many pictures of my ride home, because I was planning on to, but everything just fell apart during this past Friday. For me, mentally, it just killed me, and physically, my legs are still sore from this day. So I walked 11,000 steps today, and you'll find out why here. So, keep in mind that, like, coming into, before heading home, I never had any issues with airports. Everything was relatively smooth, but I think that was only because I've been used to traveling domestically. So, and traveling domestically really doesn't require much of anything at all. So, like, I didn't have to really do anything to get over to Munich, just prove that I was vaccinated or something like that. Didn't really even have to do much of anything. It was like It wasn't as smooth as any of the other airport experiences that I've had in the past. So I thought it was going to be another one of those kinds of days. So I get through Munich's airport. I get through check-in and security and all that sort of stuff. Everything went nice and normal and fine. And I was there about 4 hours early from my flight. Okay. During this entire time, I wasn't really doing anything at all. I was just relaxing, expecting that everything was going to go by nice and fine. That wasn't the case for a while. Because when you travel internationally, you have to go through some special security checkpoints, especially if you're coming to America. One of the special things about America is that you have to, if you're coming back to America, you need to prove that you don't have COVID-19. So it's like, okay. I didn't have a COVID test on me. I didn't know where to get a COVID test. And I spent the last few hours really not trying to get COVID tested at all because I was like, I don't know why. I was just small brain. That day was a very bad day for me mentally thinking. So I was not thinking right at all this entire day. I had to take 2 COVID tests because of the fact that I'm not happy to admit that when I took my first test, I self-administered it, and that was not allowed. We weren't allowed to do that. And then it took me to about almost 15 minutes before the flight was supposed to schedule to depart before I was able to board the plane. Because of COVID testing, getting the results back, blah, blah, blah. It was not fun. It was stressful. I was panicking. I was thinking I was going to miss the flight home. And, during this entire time, I was just completely out of it. I was not thinking positive at all. I get on the plane ride home, and it was a long flight home. I just wanted to get off the plane, get back home, and just not want to deal with this at all. I didn't really like the whole experience. That day. The airport, don't get me wrong, Munich's airport is great. It's a nice airport, although if you are in Terminal 2 on level 4 or whatever, for like international flights, you are not getting really much of anything at all up there. Like, there's really nothing up there. There's a few shops and maybe a few areas to eat, but like, there was nothing there. Like, literally, this shop right here is all for like level 3, I think it is. Level 3 or something like that. And you can't go down there. You have an entire cafe to yourself. You got a lot of different cafes and shops and restaurants around you and stuff like that. And nothing much up where I was at. Kind of sucked. It really did suck a little bit. Yeah, it was... The whole airport experience was not very fun that day. And I didn't really get back home until like Saturday, like literally just like yesterday at like 1 in the morning. I wasn't home till then, and it was not very fun. It was a long drive home, and I was very tired, just not wanting to yeah. And don't get me wrong, the trip was still fun though. It was just a lot. There's just some negative stuff that I could talk about that really brings it down a lot. Out of a 10 though, I give the trip about like a 7. Because like I said, I mean, the bad internet I could kind of handle. I've handled bad internet in the past before. And the whole shit with me not knowing the culture and stuff like that was gonna bite me in the ass, and it did. I should have taken the time to learn something. Anything. But I didn't. I didn't do much of it, I should say. And it sucked. So, I tried to do as much as I could, though, and all things considered, I think I did a good job at keeping my sanity in check while the craziness of going through a brand new culture and stuff like that was at hand. So, but yeah, like some of the negative stuff that I had to think about, not had to think about, just that I ended up thinking about, was not fun at all. I didn't really like to think so much about being. I didn't like being negative, but it happened. Unfortunately. So it didn't help that like the last impression of Germany that I had, at least on the trip, was the horrible day at the airport that I had. The horrible and stressful day at the airport that I had. Just saying. Really, the only good thing that I could really say is that I ended up watching about half a series of an anime. Unfortunately, the only negative about that was I wanted to watch the entire anime on the fucking flight, but I couldn't because I was so stressed, so angry, so upset because of everything that took place just hours before the flight, hours after the flight. I was just like, I just wanted to relax. I just wanted to sleep. I just wanted to, yeah. And what didn't help about my flight home was that I had the wing seat. So I had a window seat, but the window seat was on the wing. So I really couldn't see anything out the window other than what was on the side. Just outside. Like, I couldn't even see what was below me because of the wing. The wing was not a very good seat. That sucked. Thankfully, the flight cameras, though, helped out a lot with looking outside the windows. But the only way I was going to be able to see anything, honestly. I was like, I mean, like, yeah, look at this. I mean, like, I got this picture during the flight. I was like, can't see anything outside of it. All I can see were the wings. So, that sucked. I had the worst fucking seat possible on a flight. I mean, looking back at it, I mean, probably in a few weeks' time, few months' time, I'll probably look back and be all like, yeah, that was an experience and I just gotta learn from it. Right now, I'm just like, man, I was stupid as fuck. Though the good thing about taking the vacation was I was able to think about what I could do for streaming again. There were some positive thoughts that I had when thinking about everything. Don't get me wrong. I like to think positive in my life every once in a while, which is kind of rare, I know. I was glad that I was able to. Okay, so I will give myself this. I was able to get videos out every single day that I was able to. Every single day during that trip, I was able to get something out in terms of video, whether it was a highlight, a VOD, or a cover song. Granted, I mean, a lot of the covers that I threw out there in the last 2 weeks, I could have probably spread them out a lot more. Probably would have gotten more attention if I did that. A lot of the covers that I did weren't as high of quality as I would like them to be, but I was just trying to get stuff out there as quickly as I possibly could, so I didn't really take time to double check their quality, which was a mistake by me. But I just tried to get something out there, and a lot of times I sometimes just don't double check some of my work, especially if I'm in a rush. The fact that I was even able to get the videos between the 12th all the way up to the 25th or 26th, I should say. Uploaded onto the YouTube channel the way that it was. That was a surprise to me because, like, I didn't think I was going to be able to do that. I didn't think I was going to be able to do that. Oh, wow. Trina. Woo! Thank you for the raid, Trina. Wow. Thank you. Welcome, everybody. That was nice. That's nice. Thank you. How was your stream, Trina? Oh, man. Thank you for the follow. Lazy J, Minoic, Midionic. Sometimes the text-to-speech works out better. Works better. Yeah, I've been streaming for 2.5 hours already. Thank you, Lazy J, as well, for the follow. Thank you, Trina, for the raid, though. That was nice. Yeah, I've talked about my entire Germany trip, for the most part. Actually, I think that was all I had. Was the text-to-speech wrong? I would not be surprised, to be honest. Anyways, yeah. Master GM, thank you for the follow. I love text-to-speech so much, if you couldn't tell. Oh, that's right. You can't hear this because I have my desktop audio turned off. Ha! Oops. I usually have that on, but because I didn't realize... I don't usually do just chatting streams. I don't know. Anyways. Yeah, I pretty much went there. I think I may highlight the entire Germany trip and post that onto my channel. I was just talking about the YouTube channel for me. Let's see. Do I have a good shot? See, that's the thing. A lot of my screenshots are through or sideways, and it breaks. Okay, hold on. What is my favorite shot or picture that I've taken out of this group? I almost want to say it's this picture right here. I'm about to put it up. I'm about to say it's this one right here. There's a nice shot right here. Anyways, yeah, so back to the YouTube channel. The fact that I was able to pull out content between the between the 11th through the 26th was a surprise. I stretched it out as best as I could. I was able to get enough content out, and I was able to get a clip compilation of my 6 months on my 6-month anniversary. It's unfortunate that I was taking a trip during my 6-month anniversary. Not something I thought of when picking the dates for my trip. That was my bad. Which is why I'm spending this stream to talk a lot about the last 6 months, because they've been quite eventful. It's crazy to think. It is super crazy to think about how I've been a debuted VTuber for over 6 months now at this point. I would say it's 6 months, but we're kind of past that at this point. Yeah. The 19th was just last Saturday. Yeah. That's crazy.